What? Money, power,
Greetings,
land,
hip hop.
and can't nothing hold us back.
Going on?
Whether it's acres of blocks or missiles, what?
Yeah. Mango, no. What I got again today? Banana, pineapple, mixed berries, a little bit of spirulina. Good. Alright, today, loss and opportunity. One of my favorite topics to discuss. Because it's so simple, yet it seems to elude us. Like this principle of living in what I call a world of loss or a world of opportunity. It's like they say, when opportunity knocks, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? That's what it's really all about. This is key right here, family. Like, if you can grasp this concept, what I'm about to try to explain here, if you can walk with me through this and grasp this and fully overstand it, then it can free you. It can liberate you mentally first and change your whole perception of your life. Your perception is reality. So you can change your reality if you can grasp this concept. The difference between loss and opportunity. Living in the world of loss as opposed to living in the world of opportunity. Okay. Try to think of some examples the best way I can to explain this. It's really simple. First, you got to remember to reverse everything you've been taught. If you ain't been doing that, if you ain't already been thinking backwards, which is forward, then you're probably still under the spell. If you ain't reversing everything, at least not considering that perhaps I should think about this a different way. And this can apply to anything. Like, you can name something you can lose, and I can show you an opportunity. See, that's the point. That a loss is normally, more times than not, a loss is an opportunity in disguise. An opportunity disguised as a loss. For example, when I went to jail, I could have looked at that as a loss of freedom, a loss of my time out on the street, a loss of time with my friends, a loss. I got to think, if you, depending on where you live, you can go into that world of loss and just start dwelling on everything you're losing. But what I chose to do, since I live in the world of opportunity, was to think about what I could gain from this situation. No matter what the circumstance or the situation, you should be trying to think about what I can gain, not monetarily or what I can acquire, what thing I can acquire, but what can I learn? What lesson is in this experience? Because the experiences are going to come. The trials and tribulations are going to come. The measure of the man is how you deal with those circumstances and situations. That's what defines you as a man or woman. That's what separates the weak from the strong, the gods from the mortals. How you deal with the obstacles that you are going to face. Because this is balance. That's my odds. The more pleasure you seek, the more pain you will face in the future. Because that's balance. So that's what I'm talking about. Simple thing is, okay, I'm locked up. That's a loss. Lost some time. That's mostly what we call it, right? Because you're doing time. But in that time, I just actually gained time to do some studying. Because that's what I ended up doing. Learning the law. In this case, it just happened to be law. And there's a lot of brothers end up doing. Getting in that law library. Some brothers get a GED while they in there. Some brothers get their health together. I met brothers in the concentration camp who said they had never ate vegetables before on the street. And that might sound crazy to some of y'all, but if you think about it, you can go your whole day without vegetables. If you go to McDonald's for breakfast in the morning, Burger King for lunch, and Soul Food Place or the Wing Shack for dinner, you could have very easily went that whole day without vegetables. And if you eat like that every day, then that could have been your life. So it was very easy for me to see that was a blessing for some of them brothers that had to sit down and evaluate their lives. Sometimes that's the only chance you get to slow down and think. You get to go within. That's an opportunity to go within. It was an opportunity for me to teach. I got to share a lot of information with a lot of brothers. And of course, I'm not endorsing the concentration camp. I'm not saying run to the concentration camp. It's a great place to be. You can learn something. You can do all that shit on the street. But sometimes if you don't take the opportunity to do what you can on the street, then you'll be placed in a situation where you won't have no choice but to do it. And even in that situation, you have a choice. I didn't have to order an encyclopedia. When I was in boot camp, we only got one book a week, or every 2 weeks, something like that. So I didn't have to choose to make my one book a different encyclopedia every week. I just chose to get an encyclopedia. I could have got a novel. I could have got a story about some bullshit that wasn't going to do me any good. That was my choice. So even in there, you got an opportunity to waste time. That's an opportunity in itself. So your perception is the reality. I was just hearing P talk about that. Big up the Prodigy from Mobb Deep. He out on the street. He was saying that he took that situation and turned it into a positive. I once asked a person one day after we watched The Secret, and I think they was talking about the lady on there who had cancer and how she decided she was going to beat this and she wasn't going to let it beat her and she was going to be happy and watch comedies and stay upbeat and all that. And when the movie was over, I asked the person who I was with at the time, what type of person are you? Are you the type that would have reacted like this woman and decided this ain't going to beat you and you going to beat it and, you know, I'm stronger than this, you have the will to survive? Or would you curl up in a ball in the corner and cry and get depressed and accept your death sentence? It's only two type of people in the world. I'm convinced. It's only two type of people. There's people who do that, who curl up in a ball and cry and get depressed and accept their sentence. And there's people who will take control of their own destiny. And the person I was with at the time said she was the second type of person who would curl up in the ball. And I couldn't do nothing but respect her honesty, but had to get the deuces after that. I knew that was the end. There was no more hope for you, because that's the truth. You said it out your own mouth. You know that's who you are. Until you're willing to change that, you know, we on a different frequency. But that's what I'm talking about. Do you live in the world of loss where you curl up and cry and die and say, oh, that's just the way it is? Well, what can I do about it? Or are you the person who sees an opportunity? And like I say, this can go for anything. You look. Glad I said that, because I want to get back to something I said the other day too about struggling. I might have sounded like I contradicted myself on the video when I said that something that you're doing that's natural and positive, it shouldn't take a struggle. It should come with ease. And then I said later on that after I got tired of struggling in my business, I started doing and selling other things. And that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say struggling to keep up with everybody else I saw. See, when I saw all the Africans and everybody else around me making hundreds of dollars every day, and I'm only making enough to eat, which is all I needed, see, then I got greedy and started going out trying to do other things. That's different. See, struggling, and I wasn't starving and homeless. I had a business. I just wasn't making as much money as I wanted to, or as I thought I was, or as everybody else who I saw. So I just wanted to correct that. Because a lot of times we start trying to live above our means and trying to keep up with other people and thinking that we're struggling when we're really not. If you just eliminated some of the bullshit in your life, you got more than enough money to do what you need to do. But, okay, I just want to clear that up. So I want to make sure I didn't sound like I was being contradicting myself. But as far as money goes, since we're talking about money, since I was in that situation, I could have looked at it as, damn, I'm used to having this stack in my pocket coming from where I came from. See, I stopped selling drugs or weed or stopped doing what they call illegal shit to open me a legit business. But like I said, I lost money in that transitional period. So instead of being happy, thinking about the opportunity that I'm having to build something from the ground up, I was building a brand, building a name, building a company that could have probably been doing very well right now if I would have stuck with my plan. But since I didn't, I got caught up in loss. I missed out on that opportunity. And there's people in that same shopping mall that's been there for several years, probably making less money than I was making, just because they know how to manage and, you know, are better stewards with little than I was at the time. Like I said, if you ain't good with a little, you ain't supposed to get a lot. So a loss of money might mean an opportunity to fast. You got less money? It means you can buy less junk. Say the TV goes off. Lost the TV. That just happened to me. When they went to the converter boxes, made everybody go digital or whatever it is. I thought it was already digital. They went from analog to digital to something else. But whenever they switched it off, I ain't had TV since. So I could have looked at it, oh man, I'm losing TV. What am I going to do without BET and HBO? Or I could have looked at it, I chose to look at it as an opportunity to do more studying. Another opportunity to go within. Meditate more. You know what I'm saying? That's how you look at it. Lights get cut off. Perfect time to go within. Time to observe silence. If I ask some of y'all, what's the longest you went without talking? You probably don't know, because you ain't never went more than 5 minutes without talking, unless you was watching TV. Like, I mean, what's the longest? Just think about it for a second. I want everybody to think about it. What's the longest time you went without saying anything to anybody? Just not open your mouth, just being quiet. Sitting in silence. Not only not talking or speaking to somebody. I'm talking about sitting in complete silence. When the last time you did that? And for how long? These are important principles. There's a million distractions out here for us for a reason. You got internet, TV, computer, internet, TV, the radio, movies, magazines, whatever you like. You can do all this shit on your phone now. So it's always a distraction waiting for you. Many times, all these things that we thought we were losing were just distractions in the first place. You didn't really lose nothing because none of this shit was worth anything in the first place. How can you lose something that has no value? You can't lose something that's worthless. These things are worthless. We give them value. And then, in the same sense, we say we lost a person. You lost a loved one. How do you lose a loved one? You lose a set of keys. You can only lose a loved one if you think they're the same as your set of keys. Like, in your mind, you owned them. They were yours. My husband, my wife, my son, my daughter, my mama, my daddy. Mine. So if you lose them, if they leave, you feel like you lost something. Some thing. Not a person. But where's the opportunity in that? A lot of times when you lose a loved one, you get to connect with other ones. But a loss of a, depending on who you lost, they might just open the door for somebody better to come through. You ever thought of that? Maybe your wife or husband was taking up space that you needed to clear to get what you really needed in your cipher. They weren't going to be able to get there with this one in the way. You was too busy working on this, focused on that. So your opportunity just been knocking. But you had something in the way. Now if it's a relative, mama, daddy, or something like that, then that's a whole nother science. You can never lose your parent because you are them and they are you. How can you lose yourself? How can I lose myself? How can I lose myself? That our Huckabee shit. Can you lose yourself? Yes. What are we all talking about? Trying to find ourselves. Knowledge of self. Know thyself. Because you lost that knowledge. And I could go on and on with examples. Because this shit applies to everything. Everything we deal with, we look at it in these two terms. Whether you realize it or not. You either thinking about what you're going to learn from this experience, or you're thinking about what you lost. You just think of some examples. Think of some things in your own life that you cried about because they were gone. And like I said, your perception is reality. It just depends on how you think about certain things. It just depends on how these things affect you. It could be your car. If some people don't care, they run their car off a cliff because that shit don't mean nothing to them. Some people lose their car and be broke down crying. Oh, my baby. Because of the time and energy and love you done invested into it. Into what? Things that don't really matter in the first place? I hope this makes sense, because this is very simple, like I said, to me, but some people don't get it. Like, I had a woman one time arguing with me about mourning the death of a loved one. I'm trying to tell you, don't mourn your people when they die. Don't be sad. You don't have to be crying and upset. Like, that's not, you don't have to be that way. You're that way because of how you think about it. You think you're losing something. It's a selfish reaction, first of all, if you would just be honest with it. Honest about it. A lot of times if people are sick and you should be wanting them to be free of that, but you steady holding on to them. Oh, mama, don't go. To appease you. You don't want to feel bad when they gone. You don't care about them feeling better. But that's not the point. The point was, what was the point? I lost my train of thought. That's why I need a live audience. I know I was saying, you lose your loved ones. Oh, yeah. And the chick was trying to arguing with me that she's supposed to mourn. That was her thing. You're supposed to. Well, I'm just going. You can't tell me I'm not supposed to be sad when my people die. You can't tell me I'm not going. I'm like, well, I can't tell you then. That's what you want to do, then you can do that. I choose to rejoice. I'm telling you, you should celebrate. And be happy because they made it to a place that you're trying to get to. Eventually, you're going to get there, and none of us leaving this bitch alive. So, does it make sense for us to mourn the inevitable? Does it make sense for us to get sad about something everybody's supposed to do? And then be the same people talking about they going to heaven to be with the Lord, and you crying. Why is that sad? Why you ain't right behind them? Kill yourself. Yeah, man, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's your perception. See, all that is reality is perception. If you just decided that no, this is a great loss, I'm supposed to grieve because my people gone. You done decided they gone. You done accepted death. Death is a loss. It's not a loss. That's an opportunity to be free. You know what I'm saying? Everything is perception. I don't believe in losing life. I don't believe in losing love. I don't believe in losing. I don't believe in losing. Winning. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that Charlie Sheen shit, man. Winning. 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 Winning, nigga. Yeah, man. Opportunity, though, man. That's what it's all about. Y'all stop living in the land of the lost or the lost. Etymology. Phonetics. Sorry. Phonetics. Get into your phonetics, man. There's no coincidence. I don't think I need to go into no more examples. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. I just wanted to present that to y'all. Because this is a key thing. If you could just remember it. Every time something happens. Before you say, oh shit. There go my such and such. Oh shit. I left that. Oh, I lost that. Oh well, I left it. Fuck that. You leave your phone somewhere. That's an opportunity to go without talking to some of these motherfuckers about that dumb shit that don't make no damn sense. It don't even matter. Y'all talk all day. It's opportunity. Maybe you won't get the Johnny Cochran. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself some brain damage. It's like, I can go on. Tell me and name something you lost. And I'll tell you, I'll show you the opportunity if you can't find it. Let me help you. Because it's there. It don't matter what you lose or what you lost. Always a lesson to be learned. And if you learn something, then it was a beautiful thing. Every time, all the time. Oh. So yeah, man. Y'all keep that in mind. And remember to think backwards. Should I go into that now? Or do I just save that for another time? I don't know how long I went. But I'll just go into that a little bit. Because this is thinking backwards. Like, this is, you're supposed to be worried about these things, losing shit. But you can't be, you have to remember that everything you've been taught, that you have to at least consider, perhaps I was told the wrong thing. And what would happen if I just thought about it different? Just like I said, if somebody died, instead of automatically getting sad, what would happen if you got happy? What would happen? Is that wrong to rejoice? For somebody to leave here and go on and do something better than this? The fuck you want your people to stay here for in the first place? What's so great about this shit? But that's what I'm saying. That's backwards thinking. See? Forward thinking really, right? It's like we've been taught to right, left to right, but you know we used to right from right to left. But we've been taught backwards. You can't just stop there and say, well, just with language, they reverse some shit. No, with everything, they reverse some shit. If they said something is wrong, then it's probably right. And that's the way I look at everything. People who they say don't fuck with, them the people who I normally fuck with. I try to make a point to fuck with those people, matter of fact. When I was in court, last time when I beat my own case, that's how I decided on how I was going to handle the whole case. When they were going through the room calling everybody to make their plea, and those who've been in court, you know how it go at the arraignment. I think that's what it's called. Where everybody make their plea. Forgot what they call it. First trial shit. Preliminary bullshit. But yeah, call your name, make your plea. Guilty, not guilty, nolo. I decided on what I was going to do based on listening to everybody else. That's how I decided. Everybody else was pleading guilty. I'm not guilty. Everybody else was taking a deal or some probation. I'm going to trial. Everybody else was getting a public defender. I'm defending myself. That's all I did. I just looked at what everybody else was doing. I do the exact opposite of that. And that shit worked. I ain't even have to present my case. And you can apply that shit to everything. That's how I do everything. If I want to know if I'm on the right track, I just look at what everybody else is doing and make sure I'm going the opposite direction as them, and then we good. Just think about it. Go out on the street and just look at where everybody else is pulling into to eat. That's not, I'm going the opposite way to a whole nother place. This is life. This is how it all, you're going to have to look at everything like that. That's why it sounded crazy to some people when I started talking about love and marriage. Fuck love, that's right. If they've been telling you all this time about love, 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 maybe it's something they ain't telling you that you really should be into, and not that. Whatever they pushing on you, flip that shit. That's my thing. Eddie Griffith told you that with this pyramid shit. This shit could go on forever. I could do a whole lecture on just looking at things the right way instead of the way you've been taught. White and black, yellow, red people. Like, come on. We already know everything we've been taught is it's retarded. So this is all part of that. Start reversing all that shit. You thought a man was supposed to go out and do all this shit. Well, is that so? Is it him the one supposed to be out? Or is he supposed to be at home? I'm just saying, is this possible that all this shit that we've been thinking is reversed? Because I don't stop with none of it. I can't. Because I found too many things we do the wrong way. There's too many inconsistencies for me to say I can't. Well, maybe this one we doing right. Okay, this one is cool. No, you have to at least question it. You owe that to yourself and to your seeds, not to just pass on the same garbage to them. I think that's enough of that. Mental illness coming soon. That's probably gonna be the next one. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I hope everything was clear. Matter of fact, don't let me know how you think about it, because I really don't give a fuck. I'm just playing. Be healthy. Peace.
Today's lesson is how to think and grow rich. Let nothing stop you from getting in where you fit. I stay aggressive like a bloodthirsty pit and strangle my prey till their body functions quit. My mind is a weapon with extrasensory perception. I mastered investing plus the science of deception.